Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise for a point of personal privilege.
The delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In keeping in line with our tradition of celebrating, illuminating, and enlightening people on the history of Black History Month, I decided to stand this morning, Mr. Speaker, to talk about psalms, hymns, and Negro spirituals.
Don't get this gavel on you. Sing.
I received my instructions, Mr. Speaker. I will comply.
Thank you.
I grew up in the Baptist Church, Union Bell Baptist Church in White Oak in Stafford County. And many of you may be familiar with this red Baptist hymnal, which we would sing songs that would encourage our souls, songs that would give us strength, and songs that would empower us. We would sing songs, Mr. Speaker, that would go along the line of, time is filled with swift transition. Not on earth unmoved can stand, but lean not into your own understanding, but hold to God's unchanging hand. We would go and find another song, Mr. Speaker, that would say, by and by, when the morning comes, all the saints of God come gathering home, but we'll tell the story how we've overcome, and we'll understand it better by and by. Negro spirituals, as they have been deemed, carried messages of hope, but also had underlying messages. If we go back just a couple years, our ancestors who toiled this ground would sing songs because they weren't permitted to read, Mr. Speaker. So in order for them to learn biblical stories, they would put it in song. And if you grew up in the old Baptist church, we had a tradition called hymn lining, where because they couldn't read, they would have to have someone else who would line the hymn and chant it for them before they would begin to sing the song. But then they also found that in singing these songs and in learning these biblical stories, they could find a way to share messages with one another that the enslaver may not be able to understand. So they would sing a song that said, go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. Now, to the enslaver, that sounded like they were just singing the story of the Israeli Exodus. But to the person working the field, the message was just keep on working a little bit longer because someone's coming way down here in this plantation and we're about to get up and we're about to run. They would sing a song, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. To the enslaver, it's a song about leaving this earth and going to the next one. But to the enslaved, it was a message, hey, keep on working, but get ready because we're about to fly up out of here. They would sing a song, balm in Gilead, for the sin-sick soul. To the enslaver, it was just an encouragement that you may be sick right now, but pray you might get sick, healed. But to the enslaved person, it was we're going to escape and find a balm in Gilead to heal all of our sicknesses that we've been dealing with. And so these hymns, these songs, these Negro spirituals, Mr. Speaker, while we toil and we trouble and we deal with situations, we look to this red Baptist hymnal. We remind ourselves of the songs that grandmother used to sing to us to keep us encouraged and keep us empowered. And in 1919, a man by the name of James Weldon Johnson penned a poem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. And there's one particular passage that always sticks with me, Mr. Speaker. It says, God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far along the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Times may be hard, and I've heard many different people say that while we've come so far from the civil rights movement, we're not that far. And as we look at the struggles and we look at legislation that comes before us, I want to encourage my brothers and my sisters that while we're here in the House of Delegates, consider to think about the psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs that brought our ancestors over. So when you have to vote on that hard bill, look to the psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs that encourage us. When you have to rate a decision that may not be easy for you, look to the psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs that got us over. And closing in the words of Mahalia Jackson, how I made it over, how I made it over. My soul looks back and wonder how we've made it over. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.